Good afternoon, state of Michigan. Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma here alongside Drew Brummel. And I believe Ryan is also here. We are now live for a severe thunderstorm warning in portions of southeast Michigan. This one particularly for the Howell and Ann Arbor region down here, again in southeast Michigan. The National Weather Service has issued this severe thunderstorm warning for Livingston County and northern Washtenaw County in southeastern Michigan until 3:45 p.m. At 2:41, a severe thunderstorm was located over Gregory or near Pinckney, moving east at 30 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail are possible with the storm. It is radar indicated. Impact says roof damage, siding damage, and tree damage all possible. This severe thunderstorm will be near Pinckney around 2:45, Whitmore Lake around 3 o'clock, Hamburg 3:05, Ann Arbor 3:15, and Dixboro around 3:20. Other locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm include Plainfield, Hudson Mills Metro Park, Island Lake State Recreation Area, Delhi Mills, Barton Hills, Pinckney State Recreation Area, Hudson Mills, Parker Corners, Lakeland, and Linden Township. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of your building. Again, this is 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail moving in towards the Barton Hills, Ann Arbor, Brighton area as we speak. It's kind of a conglomerate of rain here that's just moving across the area, but there are a bunch of different downburst pockets within this multi-line of storms, I guess you could say.
As Joel mentioned, once again, the severe thunderstorm warning is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Wouldn't be shocked here, though, if we see a flooding risk develop here pretty soon. A lot of storms popping up next to each other, moving at a pretty slow pace here. So just a heads up, in the near future, wouldn't be shocked if we have isolated reports of flash flooding, or mainly yeah.
In fact, Drew, we already have a flood advisory in effect for the Albion area along 94. This says basically a couple inches of rain have already fallen. Minor flooding is possible until 8:30 p.m. tonight. So we're already seeing that risk here. I want to take your attention as well to the airport radar. You can see the wind gusts with these storms. I would even argue that the wind gust over here in Jackson County could be on par with what's severe warned up by Stockbridge and Unadilla right now. This is a nice pocket of gusty winds. It's currently statemented over Leone, heading towards Sharon Township here and Sharon Hollow, Manchester region. That's basically over 94. Our Chelsea camera is about to be impacted by this line.
For those that are curious, we've also had isolated reports of power outages further off to the west, mainly in Eaton County and portions of Berry County when we had some storms back there that were a little bit on the stronger side with 50-mile-per-hour winds. So we've had a few instances of down trees as well as power lines as well. So these storms have caused damage in the past. So take it seriously.
I'm going to take my screen off and I'm going to start sharing the cameras, just so you know.
I figured you would.
If this is close to me, I'll probably head out as well because it's heading right for me.
Okay. So for those who are over in Oakland and Wayne and southern Macomb County to an extent, this storm would be heading towards you if it stays together. However, given the nature of today, we expect most of these storms to kind of pulse up and pulse down at random intervals. And so what you likely see moving towards Ann Arbor now may not be moving into Wayne County later. So keep that in mind. However, at the same time, we do have other cells popping up all across the area this afternoon. All the way up towards the Tri-Cities region, up near Frankenmuth, Lapeer, Brown City. I said Muth, didn't I? It's Muth. Frankenmuth. Vassar, we have Clio, Flushing, all of these different areas up here where there are cells popping up in random spots. And again, that's just the name of the game today. pop-up thunderstorms with how much instability we have out there. We've seen it a lot this summer, and today is no exception to what we have seen so far. These storms originally fired up on a lake breeze in West Michigan and have now continued to fire up across portions of the central and southern and southeastern portions of Lower Michigan as well. It was quite stormy in West Michigan not even an hour and a half ago, and at this current time, it has cleared up pretty nicely, and all the storms, as you can see, have moved over to the east side of the state. Also showing you here on the Grand Rapids radar how much rain is suspended up there in the air. A lot of these cells have a lot of these heavy pink cores on them, which may indicate some small hail could fall in the near future. Lapse rates are okay today. But overall, these storms are very expansive and have a lot of heavy rain just lofted in the atmosphere. And so all that goes up must come down. And so as the guys have already been mentioning here, flooding is a concern as these cells produce heavy amounts of rain. And not only that, these storms are moving off to the east at a relatively slow clip. As a reminder, this severe thunderstorm warning says that these storms are moving off to the east at 30 miles per hour. And the fact that these storms are like a county and a half wide, it's going to be a lot of rain over a short amount of time.
Cody should be with us.
Okay.
He is within the warning polygon.
Yep.
There we go. He's got a nice lowering there, looks like.
Let's turn off Ben's audio. Good to know it works.
I also have our Chelsea cam pulled up here. This line is not quite to it just yet. It's also facing south, so it's going to come over the camera. But if there's any wind gusts with this, it'll definitely be seen here. In fact, out ahead of this, it's raining out ahead of this line. It's a little gusty there, but definitely not wouldn't call that strong at all. Also want to take a reminder here, or not reminder, but a little bit of a look over toward the Detroit Metro Airport. There is a storm that has been stationary over Romulus. It has been just sitting there. That little blip over there by Taylor there. Over further to the right.
Yeah.
There we go, that one. If you animate that, that is really gusty on the latest scan here over the city of Romulus. So there's a little bit of a downburst going on. So if you're up in the Wayne area, Inkster, Taylor, New Boston, Belleville, and Romulus areas, I would not be shocked to see a few instances of gusty winds, probably 40 to 50 miles per hour. I'm surprised I haven't statemented that, honestly.
I think they just did.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm also kind of surprised they're not statementing the southern part of Washtenaw County for that pocket of gusty winds over by Leone. So lots of pockets of gusty winds out there, some of which could be damaging in nature. Severe weather today should be on the isolated instance, should not be widespread or long-lived today, but there's a lot of storms out there, which models did not depict today. That statement is popping in there for Wayne County for that exact storm. They're going 40-mile-per-hour winds and pea-size hail.
I'm actually going to post this statement on the page, Ryan, because of the fact that there is a flooding risk with this one at the current time.
Yep. Yeah, all these storms here today, they're moving slow in nature, and there's quite a bit of them out there. So don't be shocked to see some localized ponding of water. I'm thinking about jogging north up into Washtenaw County, truthfully, because I think Ann Arbor and surrounding areas are going to be in some trouble there for the flooding risk. I may jog north.
Sounds good. Yeah, I would agree with you.
I'm gonna jog north, guys. I'm gonna pop out of here.
Okay.
Okay.
What camera should I leave my screen on?
Whatever one you think is best. The Dearborn cam wouldn't be bad, but we do have a couple cameras out there that, you know.
There's also Chelsea too.
Yeah, a little closer.
I got my radar screen shared as well, Joel.
Okay. Perfect.
So once again, as we were kind of mentioning, widespread rain showers, and these aren't just light rain showers. These are some pretty heavy downpours across a good portion of southeast Michigan by the Ann Arbor, Jackson area. And they, as we were kind of mentioning already several times, they're moving at a pretty slow pace. So probably going to have a flash flooding risk develop here shortly. We already have a flood advisory, I believe, over here. I don't want the statement. I want to make sure. Yes, flood advisory that's in effect for portions of Jackson County and Calhoun County. Wouldn't be shocked if we see more that start popping up here in the coming minutes. As Ryan mentioned, he is going to be heading up there to check out these storms. Ryan lives in southeast Michigan, so he's not too far away from these storms as we speak. We also have several other chasers, Cody and Ben, there in the top right. They're also chasing these storms as we speak. So if they have anything else to provide us in terms of updates, they will let us know.
And I've seen a couple comments both here in the live stream and on our page so far today that have been experiencing storms. They're saying that they have not that their forecast has not been expecting storms today. I can tell you, at least here at MSC, we have been forecasting storms for today as early as Saturday, actually. We released our 7-day forecast Saturday night for Patreon, and then they came out Sunday morning for you guys. And pop-up thunderstorms were expected today across the state. We were not sure about how expansive they were because the models were kind of showing not as great as coverage as what's going on out there today. But yeah, pop-up thunderstorms were definitely possible today. And again, here at MSC, we would never, if we saw there were pop-up storms possible today, we'd always let you know. And so that's what we did. This morning's forecast even reiterated that. So if you didn't catch that went out at 7 a.m. this morning. So again, pop-up thunderstorms possible throughout the day today through about 9:30 tonight when the sun starts to set.
For those that are wondering why models usually struggle on days like today, usually one model we like to use is the HER model. It usually underdues the dews. Get it? It underdues the dew points. And because of that, it's underplaying the moisture, and it's a lot more humid than what it was anticipating, which means storms can develop a little bit more easily, especially these pulse pop-up storms. So you can never fully rule it out in terms of storms, and that's what we're seeing. We also have a lot of instability out there, 3,000 joules per kilogram of surface CAPE to even as much as 4,000, which is well plenty for storms to develop and take advantage of. There isn't a lot of shear, though, so these storms, they'll kind of form, and then they kind of slowly just move off to the east, and then they eventually just kind of collapse and weaken. We saw that earlier in West Michigan, and as you guys can see currently with radar, this is a textbook downburst. I'm going to put this on loop so you guys can see it. You can see how these velocities pick up. Red's heading away from the radar. This is the airport radar that I have pulled up at this time. And you can see winds, the green indicating winds heading towards the radar, red indicating winds heading away from the radar. So you can clearly see it right here, just west of Taylor. I'm going to go back to the Detroit radar to give a wider scope of things.
While you do that, I'm going to see if there's any other chasers out there.
Okay. You guys have any reports, whether it's tree damage or gusty to severe winds, or even if it's flash flooding, flooded roads, feel free to send that to our Michigan Weather Report page on Facebook. It can be very helpful to relay that to our local National Weather Service stations as well as the general public.
Yeah, we're trying not to have what happened again, unfortunately, this weekend on Saturday, where we had 6 hours between when the tornado happened in Deckerville and when we were finally told that the tornado happened in Deckerville. So again, if you guys have photos you want to share with us, please do that as soon as possible. Make sure when you are reporting that you send in your time and location that the photo occurred, and as needed, a measurement as well. New statement coming in right now. That was, I'm going to switch back from one radar to the other. This is going to be for the entirety of Washtenaw County. It is underneath the severe warning, so the severe warning takes precedent over the special weather statement. The special weather statement says winds of 50 and pea-sized hail are possible outside of this warning box. So if you're in southern Washtenaw County, that would be 50-mile-per-hour winds, pea-sized hail. If you are in this orange severe thunderstorm warning box, 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail are possible here.
If I were living in Wayne County, Livingston County, Washtenaw County, and Jackson County, I would say you guys have the best chance in terms of isolated reports of flash flooding in the coming hours.
I'm going to go ahead and turn to... Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have access to the airport radar on yours or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very gusty over Romulus and New Boston right now. You can see how those winds are pushing out in both directions. So the storm is collapsing. You can see it in HD here on your velocity radar. The storm is collapsing. Red is moving away from the radar. Green is moving towards the radar. And it's just whooshing out and pushing in all directions. So directly over Romulus and heading in towards New Boston, these winds could be 40 to 50 miles per hour easily. Hence why we have this special weather statement here. You can also see a new downburst occurring over Saline. That would be heading towards Milan and Stony Creek. Perhaps also towards Ypsilanti, but that is more in terms of where the severe thunderstorm warning is already at. So again, that's why the entirety of Washtenaw County is kind of in that special weather statement / severe thunderstorm warning right now, is because there's just downbursts happening everywhere at the current time across southeast Michigan. So keep that in mind. I was going to go ahead and turn over to our YouTube Super Chats here real quick, because there's a couple questions in here that are kind of time sensitive. We have Brittany with a 199 Super Sticker. Thank you, Brittany. Cam asking with a 199 Super Chat, how is Chelsea, I'm guessing is what you meant to say. Right now in a downpour and a partial downburst. They are in that severe thunderstorm warning at the current time. So if you are in Chelsea, you do want to be taking shelter in an interior room away from any exterior walls where trees could fall. Megan with a pair of $2 Super Chats here, asking how fast are these storms moving? It depends on where you are at. So at the current time, if you are in the severe thunderstorm warning, any of these storms within this kind of miniature line that is along the US 23 corridor, bending back towards Brooklyn, Michigan, and Onstead, these storms are moving about 30 miles per hour off to the east. However, these cells that are kind of latching on to a stationary lake breeze off of Lake St. Clair and Lake Erie, these storms are stationary. Not good for the flooding potential right now. You can see directly over Romulus, this storm has been sitting here for over a half hour. Same thing up here in Macomb County, north of Mount Clemens. These three cells here, barely moving at all as they're sitting on that boundary. Another storm over Franklin and Farmington Hills. We could see a widespread flooding threat easily materialize as we get into the evening hours, especially when we get towards this evening commute coming up in about an hour or two. So keep that in mind. If you are anywhere in southeast Michigan tonight, feel free to like and share, show you care, and let them know if severe thunderstorms are in the area. However, a flooding threat may also materialize as this pocket of rain moves in and storms continue to fire up along that lake breeze that is situated from basically Monroe County all the way up through Wayne into Macomb, portions of Oakland, and up into the Thumb region as well, although lesser right now as it stands. Only a couple cells up here along the I-75 corridor near Flint and the I-69 corridor near Lapeer. Yeah, the storm...
With that being... Go ahead, Joel.
I was going to say, the reason why these storms are staying still, as I mentioned here about 2 minutes ago, they are sitting on a lake boundary that came off of the lake, so it moved inland and has parked itself basically right about 5 or 10 miles inland from the lakes. And what's happening is those boundaries act as a source of lift. So with how much instability we have out there today, that is allowing for our moisture-rich atmosphere to tap into its potential and formulate storms. And so these storms are forming on those boundaries, and because those boundaries are not moving at all, those storms will just continue to billow up and collapse down and billow up and collapse down, basically in the same spot until perhaps this line of storms from the west pushes that boundary back off onto the lakes. So as it stands right now, A couple of stationary cells across Oakland, Macomb, and Wayne County. You could easily see more flood advisories, flood warnings, perhaps even some flash flood warnings pop in within the next hour or two. And in fact, speaking of Wayne County,
Yeah.
severe thunderstorm warning.
And to add on top of that, Joel, we have a new flood advisory that just popped in for Wayne County and Washtenaw County as well.
So they are on it today.
We're just having all kinds. We're having all kinds of alerts popping in across this area. We already have bullseyes too in isolated locations of 2 inches plus of rainfall already.
Yeah.
At this time.
If you want to get that graphic, that'd be awesome. Since Ryan is now out chasing. The new severe thunderstorm warning is for this stationary cell, Drew. It is in Wayne County. National Weather Service Detroit Pontiac has issued this severe thunderstorm warning until 3:45 p.m. for southwestern Wayne County. At 3:03 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located directly over Romulus and is nearly stationary with no movement. Hazard, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are both possible with this thunderstorm. It is radar indicated. This thunderstorm will be near Romulus and Belleville. It says around 3:10, but it's basically already there because it's stationary. Other locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm include New Boston, Wayne, Willow, and Westland. Again, torrential rainfall is occurring with this thunderstorm may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways. As a reminder, a 5-minute detour may just save your life and your car. So please do not drive where you cannot see the bottom of the roads. Turn around, don't drown. Number one safety thing there. Again, a lot of you guys that are watching have common sense, won't drive into flooded roadways, but just in case you need a reminder, if you can't see the ground due to water, you don't know what's underneath there. So please turn around, don't drown. Save yourself the extra hassle of getting a water rescue, insurance for flooding out your vehicle, all that jazz. So again, turn around, don't drown. But again, you can see here on radar, there is your severe thunderstorm warning box. It has just popped in for this near stationary cell directly over Romulus in New Boston at the current time. Megan with a $2 super chat saying thanks. That's good to know as I do have to work. No problem, Megan. And Suze with a $20 super chat on YouTube as well saying thanks. No problem, Suze. Thank you guys for all of your support.
I will mention too, these storms also in isolated pockets have lots of lightning, especially in the strongest of updrafts. We just have downbursts all throughout where these special weather statements and severe thunderstorm warnings are currently located at. So, as Joel mentioned, I wouldn't recommend being out on the roads just because there's just going to be more and more areas likely in the coming minutes to hours that will just be flooded. As Joel's mentioning, do not drive through flooded roadways, especially with how populated these areas are. We just have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just loaded in, Joel.
Yep. I was just going to zoom out while my box loads in here real quick. I zoomed out to turn on all the active alerts in Michigan. That does include the heat advisories that are out there today. So for those who are not dealing with storms, another hazard to think about. So we have the storms, we have the flooding, and if you do not have to deal with these storms or flooding today, we have a heat advisory, which means heat indices are right around 100 to 102 today across the Lower Peninsula, mainly south of US 10. So any of those lightish kind of cream-colored orange boxes you see on your screen are all in a heat advisory through around 9 o'clock tonight. So again, if you are outside away from these thunderstorms, make sure you're taking the necessary precautions to keep yourself protected from heat. So make sure you're taking many breaks inside in a cooled environment. Hydrate yourself with electrolytes and water, and ice your head, honestly. Any way you can keep your body temperature cool and regulated to help your sweat kind of combat that heat, the better. So keep that in mind throughout this evening. If you're not dealing with storms, it's heat. And there are those 2 flood advisories as well. So you have one over Albion and this entire stretch across central Washtenaw and western Wayne County at the current time. These storms are going to continue to move very, very slowly off to the east or near stationary in some instances. So we'll go ahead and turn these alerts off so it's not cluttering the page.
Yeah, we have a lot of boundaries that are kind of hitting each other right now, which is just causing more and more storms to pop up. So a lot to look at here, guys, as we continue to track these storms that are slowly moving off to the east-southeast.
So here is what the text reads. The National Weather Service in Detroit Pontiac has issued another severe thunderstorm warning, this time for northwestern Monroe County, southwestern Wayne, and southeastern Washtenaw counties, all in southeast Michigan until 3:45 p.m. Eastern. At 3:06, a severe thunderstorm was located over Milan, moving east at 25 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail are both possible this storm. Again, that is the severe criteria for both hail and winds, 60 mile per hour and 1 inch in diameter. It is radar indicated. This severe thunderstorm will be near Milan here in the next minute, and Carlton at around 3:35. Other locations impacted by this severe thunderstorm include Pittsfield Township, Whitaker, Willow, Sumter Township, Schofield, New Boston, Oakville, and Waltz. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building, as a reminder. 1 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds for the news. Severe thunderstorm warning for portions of southern Washtenaw, southern Wayne, and northern Monroe County in the Milan area. And this is going to be this cell that is directly over Saline, Stony Creek, and Milan right now. If we go and switch to correlation coefficient, a little bit of a hail course south of Saline and heading towards Milan, but at the current time, nothing too crazy. The hail core really kind of peaked a couple minutes ago for that 1 inch hail directly over Romulus around, that was like right at 3 o'clock. So about 10 minutes ago for Romulus. Had a quick little burst of hail, most likely. So if you have any hail reports you want to send in to us, feel free to do so. This is in the vicinity of, I believe that's the Romulus Airport. Fortunately, they do not have CC, correlation coefficient radar, on the Romulus Airport, but you can see how the velocity signatures here are a lot closer to the radar site from the airport radar for these pairs of severe thunderstorm warnings. So you have this entire pocket of strong to severe winds in the Saline and Stony Creek area. The continued damaging winds directly over Romulus and heading towards New Boston. And we now have a third cell that is directly over the airport radar that has also decided to downburst, where you can see those reds and greens spreading apart from each other. So a bunch of different boundaries and stuff heading in all different directions, mainly because these storms are stationary at the current time. Also, I can see a downburst from the airport radar, and we can confirm that with the Detroit National Weather Service radar, which is a little bit closer, of a downburst ongoing in Farmington Hills from that stationary storm up there as well. And this is directly parked on I-696 near where US 10 comes in. So a busy day across southeast Michigan overall. Every single orange box you see on your screen is a severe thunderstorm warning for southeast Michigan. It includes portions of Livingston, Washtenaw, Monroe, and Wayne County for the next couple of minutes. A couple of these warnings in effect till 3:45, a couple of them in effect till 4. I believe most of them, I think, are in effect till 3:45 though. And every tan box you see on your screen is a special weather statement, which is in effect until around 3:15, 3:30, a couple of them 3:45 as well. If you are in Wayne County, I believe, because the policy there is we sound the sirens for every single severe warning. If you're hearing sirens in Wayne County right now, that is why, because there is some sort of severe thunderstorm warning that is encompassing part of Wayne County. So not all of Wayne County is in a severe thunderstorm warning. As you can see on your screen, the orange polygons denote who exactly is in a severe thunderstorm warning. So as you can see, Romulus is in a orange box, but Taylor is not. So they are not, by definition, in a severe thunderstorm warning in Taylor. Neither is Sheldon, Inkster, Westland, up towards Livonia, and Plymouth either. However, there are severe thunderstorm warnings nearby, so you should be kind of on alert for future warnings, and as these storms head in your direction, future downbursts as well that may pop up within a minute time. Because again, these downbursts are collapsed thunderstorms, and so what happens is all that rain rushes down and blows out in all directions, leading to these quick 40 to 60 mile per hour wind gust bursts.
I will mention too, Joel, with that Romulus cell, already has 2.5 inches of rainfall that has fallen within. Yeah, it's put it on scan here. This goes from about 1:30 to about 3, and that's how much rainfall has fallen ever since that storm's really been just kind of sitting right over Romulus, and it's still there too. So I wouldn't be shocked if we easily get 3 inches of rainfall within this cell. So flash flooding is definitely going to be a real concern. And once again, it's inside that flood advisory where, once again, flooding is possible. So radar right now is just a mess of greens and yellows and reds. So anyone is traveling around here, just make sure you're traveling at the appropriate speed. don't want to hydroplane easily could happen, especially just with how frequent these heavy downpours are. So just something to be mindful about, especially as Joel mentioned, as we get closer and closer to that evening commute.
Turn off Ben's dancing cat cam there. It's not currently live. No one is currently live at the current time, but they were previously. We also have a super chat real quick from Red Dozier with a $50 super chat. Our longtime supporter here, Red, out of West Michigan, saying, time to celebrate. I'm still pinching myself. Got 3/4 of an inch of rain, and it came with spicy thunder, too. Glad you guys got some rain for your garden over there on the west side of the state. Much needed where the drought is currently ongoing. And thank you, as always, Red, for your generous support.
Here's another downburst that's perfectly shown on the airport radar of Detroit. All this red that is around this radar are winds heading away from the radar. And the storm is basically directly over the radar. So kind of fascinating to see, as you just see all these downbursts and velocities all just spreading out, kind of like expanding out from all within each other. And once again, some of these winds are severe. So damaging winds are possible inside any of these severe thunderstorm warnings. Put it on loop here briefly. You can see it right there. Last 2 scans. I'm going to put this to 7 frames quickly.
Yeah. I can also take my radar since it's a little laggy on your side. So I'll go ahead and take mine.
Yep.
I'll switch back to the Detroit airport radar. Yeah, it's a really funky on mine, but you can see the ring of red around the radar site there. So the winds are heading in all directions directly over the radar site. That's pretty cool to watch. Again, the atmosphere is a liquid, and so watching these winds kind of flow out in a fluidity type pattern in all directions is very, very interesting and intriguing to watch on radar. But we see this all the time here in Michigan. This is a very common July sort of day in the state of Michigan, where we have a lot of instability out there because it's so hot, and a lot of lake breezes that are allowing these storms to billow up. And so what happens is all these storms billow up, and because there's so much instability and so much moisture real quick, it's all going to come crashing back down and resulting in these downbursts, which produce 60-mile-per-hour winds very, very quickly, and they can take you off guard. So when you are in these orange boxes today, which are your severe thunderstorm warnings, you do want to be taking shelter inside a sturdy structure away from where any trees are located. That's why we say preferably an interior room, because your interior rooms are more sturdier than the exterior walls where a tree could come through. In addition, there is a couple instances of 1-inch hail within these severe thunderstorm warnings, so we could see a little bit of wind-driven hail out there today as well. Not saying that's the main hazard, but you do want to be away from windows as well, as wind-driven hail can bust through windows. Now, the hail size is 1 inch in diameter, so chances are this hail is not going to do too much damage, but they can cause at least a little bit of siding damage and perhaps some cracks in your windows if the hailstones get going fast enough. So keep that in mind. These orange boxes out there, pretty much all in effect for both 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. As a reminder, severe thunderstorm warnings are issued for 60-mile-per-hour winds and or 1-inch hail. So sometimes they're issued for both. In addition, sometimes they're issued for a tornado possible, but today we are not seeing anything in the way of tornadic thunderstorms. Granted, obviously, if something heads towards the lake, we could see something funky happen, kind of what we saw with Deckerville. But again, that is currently not the plan at the current time. Right now, we're just dealing with some damaging winds around Wayne County, Ann Arbor, and northern Monroe, as well as even into Oakland County now, too. Forecast today, the Storm Prediction Center did not have any of Michigan in a severe threat. Here at MSC, we put the lowest level severe threat for portions of the US 23 corridor and the 127 corridor from the state line up through about central Michigan, just because we saw that there was enough instability out there today, moisture, along with the lake breezes that could enhance these storms to produce very, very marginally severe thunderstorms, and that is actually what has come to fruition. So it's very much validating our forecast here at MSC on the very low end of things, despite the fact that it was a level 1 of 6 risk today. New Boston sirens going off sounds about right again. Livonia County is, or not Livonia County, Wayne County is, their policy is they issue their sirens for any sort of severe thunderstorm warning. And you just saw a notification come on the screen here, guys. This is a flash flood warning now coming in for Wayne County until 6:30 p.m. this evening, which takes it through the evening commute for many people. So if you have anyone that is traveling in Detroit tonight, anywhere around Wayne County, at this point this is becoming more of a concern for some flash flooding. Flash flooding occurs very, very quickly. And if you know anyone that is traveling home tonight, or if you yourself are traveling home from work, this flash flood warning is expected to go through 6:30 tonight. Drew, I'm guessing you'll get that graphic real quick.
Yeah, I was going to quickly mention too, we now have over 3 inches of rainfall in Romulus, right where that flash flooding warning is. It's literally for that city, basically. So once again, if you guys live in this area, just be mindful. If you see any flood roads, please do not drive into them. With all this rain falling in such a short period of time, flash flooding is a possibility. That is why there is a flash flood warning in place. All right, I'm going to get the graphic.
Okay. There's a comment here about the delay. So, again, it depends on the device you're watching on as well. I believe we have low latency enabled. So the stream now, if you're watching on YouTube specifically, the delay should only be about 10-ish seconds or so from the real time. Again, the time is listed in the bottom right corner of your screen. That is the real time. If you're ever questioning whether or not we're live, we are live right now as of 3:20 p.m. here on July 28th. Again, I'm Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzmo alongside student meteorologist Drew Brummel, both CMU students or alumni. I'm an alumni. Drew's the current student there. So, again, fire up chips, and we are tracking these severe thunderstorms across southeast Michigan tonight. I'm going to go switch back to my radar here. Watch the flash flood warning pop in. One thing I noticed, Drew, is that this flash flood warning is over a major interchange of I-94 and I-275, so that is very much a concern for the evening commute for people moving east and west to and from Detroit in the Romulus area. So this green box on your screen is that flash flood warning. We have a new downburst also popping up over Romulus as well as the storm continues to batter the region. And we'll read off the text here just so you guys can get the full aspect of like the severity of this flash flood warning. Because again, flash flood warnings are basically the equivalent of issuing a severe thunderstorm warning, but for water. So this is what it says. The National Weather Service in Detroit has issued a flash flood warning for west central Wayne County until 6:30 p.m. At 3:18, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the Warren area. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain have already fallen. The expected rainfall rate is 1 to 2 inches in 1 hour and 30 minutes. Continuing on from this time that the warning has been issued. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazard: flash flooding caused by thunderstorms. Impact: flash flooding of small creeks and streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage in low-lying areas. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Taylor, Romulus, Westland, and Wayne. Turn around, don't drown when encountering flooded roads. Most flood deaths occur in vehicles. Be aware of your surroundings and do not drive on flooded roadways. And that goes back to me saying, if you can't see the road in front of you because it's covered by water, take that 5-minute detour. Get out of the way. Save yourself the hassle of going through car insurance and saving your own life. You never know how bad the situation is when in a flooded roadway. So please take that 5-minute detour, find an alternate route. It may even be like a 15 or 20-minute detour. You might as well take that, though, over perhaps putting your life at risk. So again, flash flood warning right now for southwestern Wayne County, directly over Romulus in the vicinity of I-94 and I-275. So if you know you're traveling there or know anyone that is traveling in this area, again, feel free to like and share this information with those people. The flash flood warning post was just posted on our X page, which is MI Storm Chasers, and our Facebook page, Michigan Storm Chasers with the blue verification check mark, if you guys would like a post version of what we're talking about here. So again, go ahead and follow us over on Facebook or X. The post has just been posted up on those social media pages. Oh, wow, we got a lot of chats coming in.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of comments too of flooding in Romulus. We have a viewer that says that their road is literally a river right now. In Romulus, right behind the high school. I'm trying to find the street name. It's Miriam. That's not right, but I'm trying to find it as we speak. Once again, it's not shocking because, as we have been mentioning, we have a flash flood warning mainly for Romulus, Michigan. You can see the picture, Joel, on our flash flood warning post on Facebook if you're curious.
Okay. Go ahead and check that out right now. See, the
Yes,
road
Gibbles
is...
and YouTube.
What was
Gibbles
that?
and YouTube chat has it right.
What?
I said Gibbles and YouTube chat has it right. The road.
Mirror Man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, be careful not to speak in all caps. The bot will automatically mute you. So apologies on the bot's behalf. But if you do talk in all caps, the bot will get you for that. So you'll be unmuted here in probably a couple minutes. But for people that are here on YouTube watching, we have over 2,500 of you watching on YouTube right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Avoid all caps because the bot will get you for that. Yeah, from Carol in the flash flood warning post. Road is a river. Not ideal. So for those just tuning in, we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings and 1 flash flood warning, all in southeast Michigan right now. These storms are continuing off to the east at most 30 miles per hour. Some of these storms are stationary. Wayne County, specifically the Romulus area where I-94 meets I-275, has already seen now 3.5 inches of rain. Drew, I'm going to take your radar back, see if there's been an update on how much rain has now fallen from that storm. If you want to switch it over to the products. Actually, I'll wait until you get that. But the warning text said 2 to 3 inches already have fallen, with another 1 to 2 inches possible. So if you are in Romulus, we may see 5 to 6 inches of rain tonight here near I-94 and I-275 in the Romulus, Belleville, and New Boston region. Again, the impacts do expand a little bit outside of this flash flood warning box because the rain has to go somewhere. And so if you know you are in the way of any major tributary outside of this flash flood warning where the rain is falling, these effects will be felt downstream to where you are located. So if you are elsewhere around this flash flood warning in Wayne County, you do want to be on alert for suddenly higher streams and creeks in your neck of the woods.
My radar is ready.
Okay.
Unfortunately for the storm total precip thing, it doesn't update right away. It's like every 15, 20 minutes, but we'll probably have an update shortly. But you can just see how rapidly these rainfall totals pick up. This is between the time frame of 2:37 to about 3:09. So that's about, let me think here. It's about what, 30, 45 minutes, right?
Yeah. So that's 3.
Yeah.
That would make it 3 inch per hour rainfall rates, which is a lot.
Crazy.
we rarely see that here in Michigan, but again, when you have a stationary storm, it latches on a boundary from the lake, plus additional storms moving in from the west. It's a bad combination overall for flash flooding to occur.
And it's still raining right over town. Thankfully, the more heavier rates are just to the south, but still moderate rainfall, even heavier rainfall rates at times. So still not a good situation that is continuing to develop for Romulus, Michigan.
The airport here in the area has measured 1.62. Shout out Stebo, one of our Michigan members behind the stream or behind the scenes that is relaying that information. So at the airport, they've already seen around 1.6 inches of rain as well. So if you know anyone that's flying in and out, it may be a little bit of a wait tonight here at the airports in southeast Michigan. But besides the flash flooding threat, The main concern right now is the damaging winds and 1-inch hail possible within these downbursts. Again, these collapsing thunderstorms are what are called downbursts. When you do have these winds that rush down in those downbursts, they can exceed 60 miles per hour at times, and so that's why you have a kind of massive orange boxes for these severe thunderstorm warnings out there. And because there's so much moisture in the atmosphere today, some of that moisture is getting affected so far up that it is becoming supercooled liquid and turning into hailstones, which are getting to around 1 inch in diameter and collapsing with those thunderstorms. So you have collapsing thunderstorms bringing down 60 mile per hour winds and 1 inch hail anywhere where you see these orange boxes on your screen this evening, which are mainly right now for eastern Washtenaw, extreme southeastern Livingston. At the current time, that warning has been trimmed back, so Howell and Pinckney are not in this severe thunderstorm warning anymore. You also have severe thunderstorm warnings down towards southeastern Washtenaw County, northern Monroe, and of course, right where that flash flood warning is, there's also a severe thunderstorm warning because that is just a continuous downburst with perhaps winds of 60 miles per hour and 1 inch hail ongoing. If you're just tuning in, feel free to, as always, hit that like button. Again, you are helping out your fellow Michiganders here when it comes to severe weather coverage, as well as flash flooding coverage in the instance of today where we have nearly stationary storms. That storm right there in Willow Drew has a little bit of weak rotation on it as well. That storm is just kind of spinning in one spot. Let's go actually check the Detroit terminal radar because I think that's probably going to be more in terms of the downburst, but it is rotating the upper levels. You never can count it out when you have boundaries that are all mixing around the vicinity of the lake. You have a microclimate here near Lake Erie, and so it's very, very interesting. We saw this last year with Livonia where crazy spin-ups can happen. The marine layer actually did cause, or is part of the reason why we had a tornado happen in Deckerville on Saturday, and so again, we cannot completely rule out, sneaky things happening. Right now, the tornado threat today for Southeast Michigan is less than 1%, but in the instance that something does spin up, those odds are between 0 and 1% nonetheless. Main threat today, though, you guys can take a nice deep breath. It is just 60 mile per hour winds and 1 inch hail. Still want to keep that in mind, though. 60 mile per hour winds can bring down a lot of trees if you are directly underneath the storm, so please by any means be taking shelter if you're in the vicinity of these orange boxes on your screen. Those are your severe thunderstorm warnings. So New Boston right now is right where the storm is parked and continuing to see gusty winds after gusty winds. So let us know if you're watching from Willow and New Boston how it is going there, because it just continues to dump directly on top of you.
Just got a new update for storm total precip. Once again, this is via radar, so it may not be fully accurate, but we're getting close in some areas around downtown Romulus, getting close to 4 inches, 3.5 inches for sure.
Oh, wow.
I would say it would be, it's once again, it's radar indicated. Obviously, we would rather want to see actual measurements, but once again, definitely not a good situation that's developing for Romulus, Michigan at this time. And this update is as of 3:25 p.m. Right now it's 3:32 p.m. We probably won't get another update via this probably in the next 15 to 20 minutes if I had to guess, because that's just how it is for some reason.
Hey, Drew, I would go ahead right now, if you can, as soon as possible, get a radar post out with how much rain has fallen there. Again, if that has all fallen within the last hour, those are rates of over 3.5 inches per hour rainfall rates. And again, with rain continuing to fall through the area, this is just going to continue, unfortunately. So if you're in Romulus at the current time, unfortunately, a very, I don't want to say this too lightly, but there is a little bit of concern for a continued flash flood threat. Again, this flash flood warning is in effect till 6:30, but this may continue to increase in severity as the hours go on. So if you are in Romulus, near New Boston, I would say around the Romulus area as well, so over towards Belleville, up towards Wayne, over towards Taylor, and down towards New Boston, even though the box doesn't encompass you guys, be on alert as this rain does spread out from the area. The tributaries that do extend away from Romulus may impact portions of these cities as well, but again, because we've already seen up near 4 inches of rain within the last hour to an hour 15, this is getting to those levels where we could see an upgrade to the flash flood warning. Similar to what we see with severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, they're all tiered. So you have, for severe thunderstorm warnings, you have 3 levels. For tornado warnings, you have like 4 different levels. Flash flood warnings also have 3 different levels. So right now it's just a level 1, good news there. It's a level 1 out of 3. The next level up would be a considerable flash flood warning, and in rare instances where there is extreme danger to life, they will issue a flash flood emergency, which we have. I don't think we've ever seen a flash flood emergency in Michigan. At the current time, it is still level 1. That being said, we have seen 4 inches of rain within an hour to an hour and 15 here over Romulus, so please be on alert for continued flash flooding if you are in this region, specifically on I-94 and I-275 where they meet as the rain continues to fall. And as you can see on looping this radar here, rain just continues to fall across the region and is going to continue to do so through probably the next hour and a half easily. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Back when the dams broke in 2020, it says Donald here in our YouTube chat says Midland 2020 was the last flash flood emergency we had in Michigan. Again, that was from all that excess snow melt and the rainfall we saw there in the spring of 2020. So thank you for that little reminder there. Again, flash flood emergencies have happened in Michigan before. It's just been 4 years, 5 years now. It's been a while. Feels like just yesterday. Zooming back out, we're going to go ahead and move up to the Macomb region as well, because these cells have also been stationary and have now also continued to increase the rainfall amounts as well. So anywhere from Southfield across, I believe that's 696 there, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I-696 corridor from Farmington Hills over to Southfield and Royal Oak. The rain has been continuous there for a while. Sterling Heights now, Mount Clemens, this rainfall is continuing to also increase in intensity. What you're seeing on radar right now is your base reflectivity. So what's happening is all of the greens and blues, that's your light rain falling. And now we have a lot more of these reds and pink hues starting to show up on radar now as well, which means a lot more intense rain, perhaps a little bit of hail mixing in as well. But for the most part, because there is so much moisture in the atmosphere today, it has to go somewhere. And so it's getting caught in these updrafts and collapsing down with these downbursts, which are producing, somewhere of 60-mile-per-hour winds. Perhaps some 1-inch hail as well. Currently, right now, no severe for Oakland or Macomb, but we're continuing to watch this area now as well for perhaps some flash flooding that may be a concern in the coming hours. Do you have access to just Facebook, Drew?
For MSC, yeah.
For post, okay. Tell me when you're done,
yeah.
and I'll cross post that as soon as possible, because that needs to be out like now.
Yep. Finishing up.
Yep.
Trying to get the appropriate wording.
Yep. As flash flooding comes in, again, we will also take flash flooding reports. Considering the fact that we are now seeing upwards of 4 inches within the last hour and 15 for the Romulus area, in New Boston and Taylor, kind of around that same vicinity, please let us know. Best way to do that, you can send it directly to our messenger. We have a messenger open for you guys. If you have Facebook, of course. We also on Facebook have a community page. It is called Michigan Weather Report. So go ahead and type that in. If you're watching on Facebook right now, go ahead and type that in, Michigan Weather Reports. Feel free to request to join. And then when you do send your damage reports in, whether that is today or if you have severe weather in the future, you can go ahead and just submit it right in the group. And we'll accept it, or we'll approve it and make sure it gets in. Again, when you are joining this group, make sure you answer those questions as you join the group, so that way you are accepted in the group. But as soon as you are in, feel free to submit a photo of the location that you're submitting it from. Specific cross streets will help, otherwise just the town is fine too. A time that it has occurred, any valid measurements, so like rainfall measurements that you've seen, or measurement of hail, tree limbs, you name it. And yeah, I think that's about it. That's just the main information: time, location, and measurement as needed when you are submitting these damage reports. So again, as a reminder for those just tuning in, if you are watching on Facebook, type in Michigan weather reports, and you can submit in your damaging wind, your hail reports, and even in instances of today, flash flooding right now in the Romulus area, New Boston, also seeing the effects too.
Post is up.
Perfect. I will go ahead and cross-post that. Drew, I'm going to take your radar back if you want to go over rainfall around the area, also looking up north towards Oakland and Macomb counties as well, as the rain is starting to stay stationary and increase in intensity there.
Sounds good. Like we have another, we just had another severe thunderstorm warning that has just been canceled right where we had that flash flood warning in place. So that makes, so currently we only have one severe thunderstorm warning in place at this time. And that is for portions of Wayne County and Washtenaw County, as well as Monroe County at this time. But as we've been continuously mentioning here, this is becoming more of a flash flooding threat more than a severe threat. Once again, downbursts are still possible with any of these storms as they continue to move off to the southeast. We're mainly concerned about downtown Romulus, Michigan at this time. We are continuing to see heavy rainfall rates that are present. They're rapidly increasing rainfall totals across this area. Flash flooding conditions are once again becoming increasingly likely where we have that flash flood warning in place at this time. Once again, a lot of these storms also have a lot of lightning, so that's another reason why not to be outside in these storms as well. We're continuing to see, especially in these cores here, which makes a lot of sense, is where the heaviest lightning rates would be possible as well. I'm going to check storm total precip and see if it's updated. Not quite, which, let me pull up 1 hour actually. Sometimes this can be helpful as well. No, this is old, it's not updating.
Okay. Well, that updates real quick. Shout out to Brian for becoming an EF1 member here on our YouTube channel. Appreciate your support. Welcome to the team. A couple of the severe thunderstorm warnings, by the way, have been dropped for Washtenaw, Livingston, and the severe thunderstorm warning for that flash flood warning has also been dropped because the winds are now below severe limits. However, rain continues to fall directly in this location, so this flash flooding threat is only going to get worse as the evening goes on. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect for Livingston, or sorry, southeastern Washtenaw, southern Wayne, away from the flash flooding, and northern Macomb, or northern Monroe, until this is going to be in effect till 3:45, so about 3 more minutes on this one as well, for 60 mile per hour winds and quarter-sized hail. There has been a little bit of weak rotation in this storm, but is all elevated at the current time due to the fact we have a lot of converging boundaries, a lot of microclimate features because of Lake Erie's vicinity here. They're allowing this storm to perhaps get a little bit of rotation on it. I can assure you, though, right now the main concern is just downburst winds of 60 miles per hour. And again, you still don't want to take that lightly. 60 mile per hour winds can bring down just as many trees as a weak tornado would do. So keep that in mind. If you aren't in any orange box, you are in a severe thunderstorm warning. So this is why we always reiterate to you guys to make sure you know where you're located on a map such as this, where not all the cities may be shown, or if we're away in a different area. So right now this is primarily around the vicinity of the DTW airport, which still gusty winds have now peeled off to the south of New Boston, is now mainly in the Willow region around the airport, and Waltz too. So south of Belleville at the current time. You can see the strongest of the winds are denoted by the lighter blues on our velocity product. These winds are very close to, or if not at severe criteria, right in the Willow region. I believe Ryan is on his way. Is that correct, Drew?
Yeah,
over to Romulus?
Yes, yes.
Okay. See if we have any of our chasers back live. I don't believe so. We'll have Ryan soon on his phone. I'm gonna put him in. I'm gonna put him up there just for the time being, just because we will have him soon.
Also seeing that another of our chasers, Mike, is somewhat close. I don't know if he's chasing though.
I do not have his cam right now.
Yep. Okay.
So busy day out there across Michigan and also across the Midwest. A little bit of off-topic news that I would like to share with you guys tonight. If you missed our post on our Facebook page shortly before we went live here on Facebook and YouTube and X and Twitch TV, those are the 4 platforms we're live on. There is a potential derecho moving across the Midwest tonight, and what that means is there is an area of projected 240 miles or greater in length for damaging winds to occur across the Midwest. Now, before I move on here, I'm going to say this. Michigan, minimal impacts for Michigan, so you guys can breathe easily. This is mainly for those who might have people that are traveling, maybe have people that live out to the west a little bit tonight. Again, a derecho is possible. Again, what that means is 240 miles of damaging winds. Along that swath, multiple reports of 75 mile per hour winds are likely and will be observed. The main time frame is from now through around 2 or 3 in the morning. The winds will make it from the Dakotas through northern Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa, and then end over in Wisconsin and northern Illinois tonight. We could see the leftovers tomorrow morning here in Michigan and Tuesday morning. However, they'll just be mainly in the mode of just normal thunderstorms. But again, this is why I'm here. I'm telling you guys, for anyone that has anyone that's living out west, feel free to let them know. We do have a post on our Facebook page if you guys want to go check that out, as well as Instagram, or I think Instagram, X as well. All our posts you can find on there on those social media platforms. So feel free to go check it out. All the information can be found there. If you would like a shareable post, it is there for you guys to use. So again, if you know anyone living out west tonight, a derecho is possible across the region. Here in Michigan, we have a busy night too. For those who have missed it so far today, when we woke up this morning on our forecast, we put pop-up thunderstorms everywhere, a couple chances for severe weather. We also have the heat today. Heat indices well near 100, 102 in some spots. Good news is, for those living in southeast Michigan, because it's raining right now, we're not going to get those heat indices that are likely to get towards 100 because of the rain-cooled air. Bad news is, because we have so much rain falling across the area, we now have a flash flood warning for Romulus. And in the last hour to about an hour and a half now, we've seen about 4 inches of rainfall in Romulus. So unfortunately, the rain continues to fall, and we will continue to see probably flash flood warnings pop up, maybe a couple flood advisories. Drew, is there anything you're seeing on the updates right now in terms of how much rain is falling across southeast Michigan that you'd like to share?
I would like to share, we're getting reports. We have a picture from Katie behind the scenes. Downtown Romulus, based on her picture, it is just flooded completely. If you want to look at it too, Joel. feel free. But
Hold on.
we have stranded water that's just current through downtown Romulus, which is not surprising just based on the heavy rainfall rates that are present at this time.
You said it was from who?
Katie.
Yep, see it. New special weather statement coming in. I would imagine probably for this entire swath of southeast Michigan. It's just one big line of storms is now pushing off towards Toledo. So you can see, here's your tan box on your screen. This is a special weather statement. Text reads at 3:46. Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along a line extending from near the Detroit Zoo to Flat Rock to Adrian. And movement is east at 20 miles per hour. Hazards are winds in excess of 40 miles per hour and pea-sized hail. Hazards or sources radar indicated gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. Locations impacted by the special alert statement include all of Lenawee, all of Monroe, and all of Wayne County. People attending the Monroe County Fair should seek safe shelter immediately. I always have to say that slowly because it's a tongue twister. But if you're at the Monroe County Fair, the statement is for you. 40-mile-per-hour winds moving in right now along with some torrential rainfall.
We also have a flood advisory for Macomb County. We have a heavy pocket of rainfall just north of Sterling Heights and south of Macomb Township, where very heavy downpour is in place.
I was wondering when they were going to issue that. It's good thing they have.
2 inches already.
Yeah.
And once again, you can just see how rapidly these totals pick up. I'm going to put this rough tracker in place. You can see once again very heavy rainfall rates continuing to be present with the storm. If we pull up reflectivity, once again very heavy rainfall rates that are starting to move now south. So hopefully this continues moving south so that we don't have what we have currently in Romulus. But once again, not surprising. It's just kind of stalling, and yeah, it's continuing to stall right over Macomb County, as well as portions even of Lapeer County as well.
Lapeer?
So Lapeer, my bad. We'll be watching this closely.
Wait, you said Lapeer? Are you talking about Oakland? Is it right? Are you talking about right next to?
Yeah, it is Oakland. Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at the wrong one.
You're good. The reason I would say, Drew, that this advisory is basically located on the northern fringe of where the heaviest rainfall is at is because the shower is actually moving a little bit further south right now, and so as it moves a little bit south, what's going to happen is that rain pocket is going to continue to dump that 2 inches very, very slowly as it heads down towards Warren. So if you're in Warren right now, you are in a flood advisory. You probably haven't seen too much rain yet, but again, the shower is kind of slowly sagging your way. So keep that in mind, flood advisory in effect. On top of the fact of the matter is you have rain that's running off. The tributary is running down from the central portions of the county, could be heading in your location. So that is the reason there for that flood advisory being issued a little bit further south than where the heaviest of the pocket is currently at. Also, a really quick shout out to Evan here on our YouTube channel. For all of our YouTube subscribers, it's free to do. He has just gifted 10 memberships. So shout out to Evan. He's also back for month number 13 here. So thank you very much, Evan, for your continued support of operations here at MSC. New statement also coming in, special weather statement. I believe it's going to be for portions of Hillsdale County, and it is. For extension of that line of gusty winds is now moving into Ohio. So this is just for extreme southeast corner of Branch County. In fact, I think the storm's already by there. So if you're in Branch County, nothing to worry about there. But if you're in southern Hillsdale County, this is in effect for you guys as these storms move southeast at 30 miles per hour. Wind gusts of 40 and pea-sized hail are possible. Radar indicated gusty winds could knock down tree limbs, blow around unsecured objects. Minor hail damage and vegetation damage is possible. This includes Interstate I-69 in Michigan between mile marker 0 and 1. Oh yeah, because that's in Branch County. So yeah, if you're in southern Hillsdale County, this is a special alert statement for you guys now as well.
continuing to get reports behind the scenes for Romulus. I will mention, if you guys are sending in pictures, feel free to say where exactly it's at, as well as maybe a road name as well. That just kind of helps more on our end to kind of communicate to more people, as well as National Weather Service Detroit. So if we just get a picture of a flood road, we might not, we're not going to know where that'll exactly be unless you roughly share where it's at.
Yeah. Bob H. back for month number 14 here on our YouTube channel with a weather report saying rain, lightning in Pontiac, Woodward Loop. Thank you very much, Bob, and thank you for coming back for month number 14. Appreciate you very much. That is the story out there today across southeast Michigan. A lot of rain, a lot of lightning, a lot of thunder, and a little bit of flash flooding currently for the Romulus area.
Looks like based on recent radar scans, it looks like the rainfall rates are slowly dying down. Hopefully that continues to be the case as we go in the near future. We'll try to see if we have a new update. Yeah, we should be getting an update here any minute.
I'm going to go on the back end of things and see what Radarscope has to say. There is a precipitation discussion from the WPC. It was issued at about 20 minutes ago for southeast Michigan concerning heavy rainfall, flash flooding possible. Says a fairly progressive linear complex is moving into southeast Michigan and extends from Ann Arbor southwestward to the Michigan-Indiana border near Coldwater. Ahead of this complex, near stationary cells are developing in a very moist air mass where 2-inch PWatts are there, so that is basically equivalent to your rainfall rate. Supporting heavy rainfall, several spots of 1 inch an hour rates were developing. A couple areas could reach 2 to 3 inches per hour over the next 1 to 2 hours. These rates are expected to cause at least spotty isolated runoff and flooding issues, particularly near urban and sensitive areas of southeastern Michigan. The start will be short-lived, and flash flooding potential will decrease as the line moves through. So around 6 o'clock, once these showers move through, this flash flooding threat will be over. So in the near time, so in the next 2 hours, flash flooding threat is heightened. But again, as we go throughout the evening, this flash flooding threat will decrease. The good news is this line appears to be speeding up some. The overall speed of this line is continuing off to the east. Still a couple stationary cells just sitting around, but you can see that there is relief coming back off to the west. So good news there. Bad news is we still got to deal with what's going on at the current time with the flash flood warning in Romulus, as well as 40-mile-per-hour winds moving through Hillsdale, Lenawee, Monroe, and Wayne County off to the southeast at about 25 miles per hour. Highest active alert is shown at the bottom of the screen. It is a special weather statement. There's only 2 of them in the entire state right now. So no severe warnings in effect, no tornado warnings. Good news out there. Bad news is flash flooding is the main concern, and that can cause just as much damage and concerns to loss of life than a normal severe thunderstorm would do. As a reminder, we will take any and all flooding reports. You can post them in our comments with a time and location specific as possible. Especially when it comes to flooding, we would gladly take the road that it occurred on. So please, when you do submit those reports, add a road name when you're doing flash flooding reports. Send them in our comments. As long as it is not here on our stream, just post it on any one of our other posts, specifically on Facebook. Any flash flooding posts, it's not our live stream, feel free to put it there. We'll gladly take it. And if you don't have Facebook, we also have a Discord channel. I have not mentioned this yet, a Discord server. Our link to our Discord server is discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers. Otherwise, again, as always, Michigan Weather Reports is a community page on Facebook. You can type in the search bar and join and submit your damage reports there. Anyways, I was going to go ahead and look at our rainfall accumulations on a radar scope in the back end of things. Yeah.
I'm getting a post up right now, Joel.
Okay. Is it a photo?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, a couple instances of perhaps close to 3 inches have now fallen in Macomb County too. Chesterfield Township, south of Macomb Township, and Clinton, Mount Clemens area. So if you are in Macomb Township, again, this storm is nearly stationary and continues to do so as it's pretty much parked itself over Sterling Heights and Fraser now too. You can see how the reds on radar have not really moved at all due to a boundary off the lake in the area. So we could see a flash flood warning popping in soon for Macomb County. Would not be surprised. There's already a flash flood or a flood advisory in effect, which is basically a level below what's ongoing, what's needed for a flash flood warning. Macomb Township, Macomb County in general, a lot of heavy urban, densely populated areas out here. So if you know anyone in this region, if you're watching from all the way across the other side of the state, feel free to share with your friends and family that are living in this area. If you yourself are watching here in southeast Michigan, specifically Macomb County and Wayne County right now, where the flooding is ongoing, please make sure you're taking your necessary precautions to move to higher ground as soon as possible. And as if you're out driving, avoid those flooded roadways, as we keep mentioning.
Ryan will be in Romulus very soon.
Okay. Sterling Heights, got a report from Sterling Heights in Macomb County. Shout out to Greg on our Facebook comment section. It says 3.66 inches in an hour at his house in Sterling Heights. So definitely in the flash flood warning criteria for sure very soon. Also shout out to Alicia for a really cool shelf cloud photo. Not sure where that's from. Maybe if I scroll down a little bit I can find it. But yeah, some cool cloud structure out there today, but otherwise a lot of flash flooding ongoing across southeast Michigan at the current time in very isolated spots. As a reminder, flash flood warning in effect in this green box here. Kind of hard to see on your stream, but there is a flash flood warning around Romulus directly in the vicinity of where I-94 crosses I-275. So if you know you're traveling this region here in the next hour or two, try to find an alternate route well out of the way, as I believe there's a couple comments in our Facebook posts that are saying that portions of I-94 are flooded and impassable. So would not be surprised if the highway is closed to this region. So make sure to avoid this area at all costs as you go throughout the evening tonight. Again, that's why we say show you care, like and share if you know anyone in the region that might need this information. It's beneficial for their evening commute. Feel free to take action right now by liking and sharing this stream or any of our posts on Facebook, X, Instagram. A little bit off topic. How sure are we that Ryan isn't on his way to the Monroe County Fair? That's funny. A little bit of an inside joke there for those who are tuned into one of our shelf cloud streams, I believe, a couple weeks ago. Ryan was enthralled with a carnival that was ongoing on one of our weather cams. Also, I'll bring that up right now. We do have a network of weather cams that are getting put up across the state. We have 20 of them now. We've just hit 20 installed, and more are on the way. So if you would like to join our weather cam network, they are beneficial for all sorts of weather, whether that's severe weather, flash flooding, snow when we get to the wintertime, freezing rain. The cameras will be here year-round, and we'd love to use them. So if you'd like to sponsor a weather camera, feel free to contact us in Messenger or send Ryan a direct email. He'll have all the information for you in terms of becoming a camera sponsor. Ryan at MichiganStormChasers.com is his email. And Ryan is out there right now chasing in the field, getting close to Romulus to provide a little bit of coverage in terms of what is happening in this region. The weather cams, we will have a 24/7 YouTube channel coming soon. The current issue with getting them up and running was that we needed a way to just host them in general, individual servers at each camera location. So that is what we're working on right now, is getting a bunch of servers up so we can take the feed and put it on a 24/7 weather cam network. So unfortunately, it doesn't get built in a day. As you guys know, takes a while. So bear with us. We'll have 24 cams set up as we get more into the future here, especially when we get towards the end of this year. We'll have a lot more up, and we could see some of these being streaming 24/7 as soon as perhaps next month. And there it is, Drew. Flash flood warning now coming in for Macomb County, so the post is going to be up on that. It's probably going to overlap the post you just had up.
Yep. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Do update, Joel, on my end. Yeah, over 4 inches of rainfall in downtown Romulus.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm even getting pockets of close to 4.5, if not 5. Yeah, even a few 5-inch reports. That's crazy.
Yeah, we need that rain to be done soon.
Yeah.
Do you need me to get that graphic on Facebook if you're still posting a post?
Yeah, I'm literally within seconds of getting my post up.
Our stream crashed on Twitch. It says we're still streaming on Twitch. There's 23 of you guys watching there. So we got flash flood warning coming in. So we're obviously watching Romulus with about 5 inches of rain have fallen within the last 2 hours, give or take. Here's that new flash flood warning popping in on your screen for Macomb County. If you don't know anyone in Macomb County, feel free to share this information with them. The National Weather Service in Detroit Pontiac has issued this flash flood warning for southern Macomb County until 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. At 4:04, Doppler radar indicated thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area. Between 2 to 3 inches of rain have already fallen. The expected rainfall rate is 1.5 to 2.5 inches per hour in the next hour and 30 minutes, meaning these totals could exceed 5 to 6 inches, similar to Romulus, within the next hour or two. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. Hazardous flash flooding caused by thunderstorms, flash flooding of small creeks, streams, urban areas, highways, streets, and underpasses, as well as other poor drainage areas are expected. Some locations that will experience flash flooding include Warren, St. Clair Shores, Mount Clemens, Sterling Heights, Clinton, Roseville, Fraser, Utica, and Clinton Township. As a reminder, turn around, do not drown when encountering flooded roadways. Most flood deaths occur inside your vehicle. So 1.5 to 2.5 inch per hour rates falling across southeast Michigan now in Macomb County. And this is really the main cell. As you can see, the rain thankfully is starting to end in the Romulus area. Still have some light rain showers as denoted by the greens and the blues on radar. However, you move up to Macomb County and look at all of these reds that are just continuing to sit directly over Macomb County. As we loop it here, it's just continuing to sit and put down more and more rain. We'll switch it over to velocity just to see if there's any winds as well. There is a little bit of wind in the Utica and Sterling Heights region. So be on alert there. There's no special weather statement for 40-mile-per-hour winds, but there could be winds up to 30 and 40 in the region. But at the current time, the main hazard is flash flooding for Macomb County. If you are in Macomb County, you likely heard WEA alerts, especially if you are inside this green box specifically. So as a reminder, these alerts are polygon-based, so not all of Macomb County is in a flash flood warning. It's only where this green box exists. So if you are in Shelby and New Baltimore, you likely did not get the alert because you're not in the flash flood warning. However, if you're in Utica, Mount Clemens, Sterling Heights, Fraser, for example, you likely did get an alert on your phone from WEA, as long as those are enabled on your phone for this flash flooding, which continues to occur now in Macomb County as well as Wayne.
I do have storm total precipitation.
Yep, go ahead.
I do have storm total precipitation pulled up on my radar for what you're talking about. Do update, just lowered in. Widespread 2 inches of rainfall across Macomb Township, as well as a bullseye of near 3 inches. Yeah, 3-inch bullseye. me zoom in.
Is that right on
Sorry for the over.
right on M59?
Basically.
Jeez.
It's, yeah. Just south of Macomb Township. Yeah. Switch this over to reflectivity. Yeah, not good. Very heavy rainfall rates present with this new flash flood warning in place. So we're gonna have to watch Macomb, County closely.
Good news at the current time, though, besides the flash flooding threat, there doesn't appear to be any sort of tornado threat. The winds there in Macomb County right now are right around 30 to 40 miles per hour at most. So again, the rains are coming down heavy and hard, as well as the wind, because this is a downdraft. It's collapsing out wind in all directions. So thankfully, no tornado threat at the current time that we are seeing. But again, damaging winds and flash flooding are still a concern. See a couple comments in here saying I-94 is closed in Romulus. Wayne Road specifically, if that is true, thank you for that report.
That would not be surprising. Just the heaviest totals, we got about almost 5 inches of rainfall right over 94. So if that pools up, especially if there's an area where it kind of gets low, easily can understand why they would have to close it off, just for safety reasons. Yeah, I'm getting about a little over 5 inches right over 94, right in Romulus. Thankfully, I will mention this, heavier rainfall rates are moving out of this region. Still rain ongoing, still could have flash flooding even after the rainfall's done, especially in rivers or lakes or anything like that. But I will mention rainfall rates have died down in this localized area. I'm gonna go back where we have the other flash flood warning in place for Macomb County. Unlike this flash flood warning that we have in place, we have very heavy rainfall rates present in Macomb County. And it's for the whole entire county too. We're getting widespread 2+ inches of rainfall, and it's only going to continue to increase as this very heavy downpour. Once again, lots of lightning too. It's not just rain, it's also a thunderstorm. It has lightning, and as Joel mentioned, gusty winds within this line as well. Once again, flash flooding will be the main concern with this storm.
I'm going to go ahead and take my radar back because I am looking at the airport radar right now of another downburst that is ongoing near Carlton, south of Flat Rock. These winds are close to severe limits at the current time, but still looks like they're below it. So if you're in the Carlton area, northeast of Monroe County, it looks like some 50-mile-per-hour winds moving through right now. As a reminder, there's a special weather system in effect for Monroe County. This just says 40-mile-per-hour winds, but airport radar right now is denoting winds of close to 50 miles per hour in spots near Carlton. So it could be a little bit higher than that. Not quite severe, but again, gusty winds are moving through northeast Monroe County right now. These are heading down towards Estrel Beach and Woodland Beach in the time being. Those are denoted by these greens turning to these light blues on our velocity product. So there's a lot of brighter colors here. Also some brighter colors in the Macomb County region, as mentioned. Some gusty winds there, 30 to 40 possible, but no statement currently at the current time for Macomb County.
Well, if you look at one of our chats behind the scenes, we're getting reports of a station near Sterling Heights that has gotten 0.6 inches of rainfall in 10 minutes in Sterling Heights, which is insane.
Yeah, radar estimates. I mean, you saw that air on Drew's radar. 5 inches of rain near DTW Airport. Just looking. I'm also looking behind the scenes here. Yeah, 0.6 inches in 10 minutes is crazy. Wow.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Drew, if you want to get on the terminal photos from Stebo, there is flash flooding ongoing at the airport right now. It is the terminals at Evans. So this is Evans Terminal at the airport. The entire terminal is flooded. You cannot drive through that right now. So if you're trying to get into the airport, you're not going to be able to. So that is information I would like to pass along right now. Terminal is flooded. Just a lot going on, a lot of flooding. Thankfully, no severe warnings, but there are some gusty winds out there, 40 to 50, if you're in the special weather statement boxes, which is Monroe, Wayne, and Lenawee. There is also a special weather statement back for Hillsdale County, but that storm has now left the polygon. As a reminder, kind of a general rule of thumb here, these special weather statement boxes, they can't get trimmed. I kind of learned this actually from one of the National Weather Service office in Mets. These special weather statements don't get trimmed like severe thunderstorm warnings do. And so you'll have these storms that leave the statements while the boxes are still in effect. So it's kind of out of precaution, but if you are mainly in the southern portion of Lenawee County, southern and eastern Monroe, this is basically where those gusty winds are currently at. If you're in Wayne County, the winds not as heavy there anymore. However, there is a pocket of gusty winds within this downburst over Macomb County, something to keep in mind there. Tigers do have a home game tonight, that's right. I'm going to go ahead and cross-post your photo there, Drew.
Okay.
Again, any posts you get out, Drew, that you need cross-posted, just let me know. I got you.
Yep.
Because this information needs to get out everywhere if possible. So we're going to go ahead and do that. As a reminder, these posts that we're talking about here that we're getting scheduled on our pages can be found on Facebook. Specifically, 100% of our posts are always going to be found on Facebook. We have about 458,000 of you guys that follow us on Facebook now, so we're closing in on 500,000 of y'all. So thank you guys for following us on Facebook. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, we don't have posts here, but feel free to subscribe on YouTube. We're closing in 100K here. But all of our photo posts can be found on Facebook. Also cross-posting over to X and Instagram right now. We're also on Threads as well. So whatever your mode of preferred social media is, that is where you can find some of these posts. Also, thank you, John, for the $4.99 super chat here on YouTube, saying thanks for the info. No problem, John. Do we have Ryan's cam yet? We do not. He'll probably jump in here and tell us. Power. So Ryan says power is out in Romulus now as well. Also getting a report, a delayed report of half-inch hail that occurred in about 2 miles southeast of Romulus. Weather observer at the Detroit Metro Airport. Oh, that was Steve, I believe. But yeah, the airport right now is completely flooded in Romulus. Cannot get into the terminals. If you're there, know anyone there, They are flooded. It is the Evans terminal, I believe it was. Let me go back and double check the information before I repeat myself. Flooding at arrivals at Evans Terminal. Let us know where exactly the flash flooding is occurring in the Romulus area. Feel free to throw those reports in chat here. Street names. We'll take them because Ryan is in the area, but he does not know exactly where the flash flooding is ongoing at the current time. So if you want to, he's probably watching the stream right now. If you want to throw the location of some flash flooding you guys are reporting in chat, feel free to do so. Tunnel to the McNamara terminal is flooded as well. Thank you for that. Inch-and-a-half report coming in from Oakland County in Rochester Hills. Merriman Road at 94. Cannot enter the airport off of I-275 at Eureka, Middle Belt. Call ahead for Delta, Air France, and Aeromexico. Sounds good. See a lot on Middle Belt for sure. And your photos also do help, so while you guys are talking in chat, feel free to submit your damage reports to us here at MSC or the National Weather Service. Feel free to throw them in any one of our post that's not the live stream, and we'll make sure to check it out. Again, time, location does help. If you are on Facebook right now, watching on Facebook, we do have a community page called Michigan Weather Reports. You can submit your flooding reports there with those exact details too. These heavy rainfall rates also continuing across southern Oakland and southern Macomb, kind of outside of where the flash flood warning is ongoing for Macomb County. So be advised, these heavy rainfall rates are continuing a little bit south, and will continue to do so as we get into the evening commute. Good news is there's really not a whole lot in terms of severe weather ongoing out there. There's no warnings in effect. A couple showers and storms trying to pop over Grand Rapids once more in that lake breeze. We have a couple cells up near Harrisville, north of Oscoda, but otherwise fairly quiet out there. A lot of heat where the storms are not at. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to the Grand Rapids radar, y'all, so you can see how much rain is elevated in the atmosphere up there. So all of this red and pink is all heavy rain that is just suspended in the upper atmosphere. It doesn't show up as well from the Detroit radar because it's closer to the ground, but when you take the beam from the Grand Rapids radar, which is showing heights of about 15,000 feet off the ground from the Grand Rapids beam, it really gets to showing how heavy these rain showers are across the region and are continuing to do so. Even on the Detroit radar, which is right next to the storm, down at 1,700 feet, this rain is pouring down in all aspects across Macomb and Oakland County. southeastern Oakland County at the current time. Good news is, as we keep saying here, the rain is moving away from the flash flood warning in Romulus, but flash flooding will continue through around 6:30 tonight, as that rain does have to go somewhere and get properly drained. So it's going to take a little bit. If you have any flights in and out of the Detroit airport tonight in Romulus, be advised that pretty much all of the terminals there, the arrivals are closed due to flooding. So expect multiple delays. It is going to be like that for quite some time.
Joel, can you quick check chat?
I just responded.
Thanks.
Well, yeah, so the terminals are flooded. I mean, we highly recommend do not driving through those flooded roadways, but again, the terminals at the airport are basically flooded. You can't get through. This will continue to drain as the night goes on, so it'll get better throughout the evening, but for now expect delays. I see Joe here in our Facebook chat saying all delays at the Detroit Metro Airport are now over an hour, getting close to an hour and 30. That would make sense. So, for those who are just tuning in, there is no severe warnings in effect anymore. We went live for a couple severe warnings across Oakland, Livingston, Washtenaw, Wayne, and portions of Monroe counties. Those have all expired. And right now, the main concern is that we have a lot of heavy rain out there that is resulting in flash flooding, both in Wayne, near the airport, and now Macomb County in Mount Clemens and Macomb Township, primarily in the southern and central portions of the county. So Fraser, for example, Sterling Heights, Utica, close to St. Clair Haven and St. Clair Shores, as well as this rain continues to move just slightly off to the south into extreme portions of northern Wayne County. So it's still coming down very much out there, so we'll stay live for a little bit, but we technically could hop off for the time being, but again, we're going to relay some information to you guys as we get more flooding details coming in. Drew, you have anything to say here?
Joel, post is up.
Okay,
just want to let you know. If you want me to, I can pull up radar briefly.
Yep. I got you.
All right, so we're going to just check and see how much rainfall has been present for Macomb County and Sterling Heights. Once again, very heavy rainfall rates still in place for this area. And as Joel mentioned, currently no severe weather ongoing, but we just have two main areas, one by Macomb County and also by Romulus, Michigan. Two flash flood warnings in place at this time for, once again, flash flooding concerns. I believe Ryan is also sending some videos in, Joel.
Okay.
I haven't taken a peek at them yet.
I was hoping.
Yeah, we are getting.
I was hoping you're going to get the other photo, but that's okay.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know which one.
Yeah, there's a pair of three. I got it. You got radar for a little bit.
Okay. Yep. Got a bullseye of 4 inches of rainfall just south of Macomb Township, right by Highway 59. This is not good, especially for anyone that's traveling across this area. Once again, you do not want to be traveling at a high speed, especially if there's flooded roadways that would easily make you lose control, hydroplane, and potentially lose control of your vehicle. So once again, I want to urge, if anyone is out and about, to travel at a slow pace. Try to avoid going out, because once again, even if you might be being careful, there might be someone else that might be speeding, and you don't want to have a situation where you have multiple cars crashing into each other due to flooded roadways. And unfortunately, we still have some pretty heavy rainfall in place for Macomb County at this time. It's really for the majority of the county. We have widespread 2 to 3 inches of rainfall present as of, we're just getting a new update, as of 4:23 p.m. Time is, as of now on the live stream, 4:29. So usually these updates, when we get rainfall updates, are a little bit slower compared to what we get in reflectivity. Once again, widespread rainfall totals in Macomb Township as well as Romulus, Michigan. Like a peek at our other flash flood warning. Thankfully, very light rainfall is in place over Romulus, Michigan at this time, but we still could have pooling of water. Let's see if we're getting any new updates. Nothing too significant, which isn't too surprising just based on how it's very light rainfall, kind of like a light shower, sprinkle kind of activity going on, which is good, but that does not mean the flooding threat is over. You could still have low-lying areas. I will mention too, this flash flood is observed. Flash flood warning observed. Look at the details here. Trained weather spotters report thunderstorms producing heavy rain across the warned area, with numerous roads flooded in the Romulus area. Between 2 and 3 inches of rain have fallen. The expected rainfall rate is 0.5 inches to 1 inch in 1 hour. Flash flooding is ongoing. We're expected to begin shortly. Once again, this is confirmed flash flooding in downtown Romulus, Michigan, as well as the airport region as well.
I just added the other photo, so there's 2 now.
Okay, sweet. I will mention too, both of our flash flood warnings are observed. I don't know if you've already mentioned that, Joel. I'm just noticing it right now. I've been busy behind the scenes.
That makes sense. Honestly,
it makes sense. Just yeah. We also have a flood advisory for Oakland County. Rainfall is starting to exit out of Oakland County at this time. Main focus will be Macomb County, as once again, very heavy rainfall rates are in place. If you guys have any pictures or any flood roadways, feel free to send that to our recent post or our Michigan Weather Report page, so we can convey that, or relay that, excuse me, to the public as well as the local National Weather Service of Detroit. Once again, do not send photos to our live stream. We will not be able to see them. They won't send in as a photo. It just won't show us a photo at all. So just want to give you guys a heads up with that, as well as, once again, Joel mentioned that several times during our live stream. Looks like we're getting another bullseye of heavy rainfall just east of downtown Sterling Heights, west of Clinton Township. Close to 4 inches of rainfall. So really just widespread rainfall. Any low-lying areas, rivers, lakes, roads could easily have flooding. Once again, if you are traveling in this region, please travel cautiously. If you hit a huge puddle of water that will want to it'll basically take your car and move it off to the road. So just be mindful about that if you're traveling. You can easily see that in any low-lying areas if you are traveling at this time. with this reflectivity on loop. Once again, pretty stationary thunderstorms in place, but they're slowly moving off to the southeast. Hopefully they will continue to maybe quicken their pace or continue to weaken, as what happened in Romulus. Probably get another update on Radar Omega from rainfall totals within a few minutes, I would assume. And we have Ryan out and about as well, touring around the Romulus area. Power is out in downtown Romulus at this time. So you can send pictures to our Michigan Weather Report page on Facebook. That is a group page, or in our newest posts, as long as you include a location and time, as well as a street name, preferably. Remember, we would want as much information as possible with the pictures. If you just send a picture with no description of where it's at, that doesn't really help us out in terms of figuring out, you know, the exact locations, because we can't just automatically assume that. We have to have specific location mentions we can relay that information once again to the public.
Someone says sirens in Estral Beach. Not sure why that is. Not really seeing anything that's concerning. There's a little bit of maybe weak rotation there, right over the water for a little bit. It could maybe a water spout spotted. There's a little bit of rotation in there, but it doesn't really look too concerning. Let me check the airport radar though, real quick. Back it up a little bit. Looks like a downburst though. Estral Beach. There was a little bit of a downburst. It could have been for the winds. I realized I was on Drew's cam there. I'm looking at reds and greens. You can see there's a little bit of a burst there, just offshore Estral Beach on velocity, real quick. Some marine winds advecting into that storm, but it does not look like there's anything in terms of rotation. So again, I'm leading to believe that that was just some gusty winds in a downburst fashion, which continues to move through the backside of the storm on the backside of Monroe County, which is now pretty much crossing into Ohio. We do have a new rainfall report, LSR, coming in, I believe, or has it disappeared? Where'd it go? Looks like it was coming in from Romulus. Maybe it's gone. I saw it was 3.31. Could be getting corrected though. Continuing to fall across Macomb County. New cell firing up in Grand Rapids, finally trying to get its act going. Nice downpour directly in Wyoming and Granville. And a downburst ongoing right now as well. This is right outside Drew's house.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
Right in your backyard. Nice downburst ongoing. That is over by the John Ball Zoo a little bit, just north of downtown Granville in Wyoming. And then it's continuing to head off to the southeast towards Wyoming and eventually Kentwood. So pretty much these areas do need the rain. areas that need it, also urban areas as well. So good news there. Much needed rain, maybe perhaps a little bit of pea-sized hail trying to mix in too now as it moves in towards Wyoming, but at the current time, not severe. Main concern remains flash flooding across Macomb and Wayne counties. High sector alert is labeled on the bottom of the screen. In green, it says flash flood warning. Shout out to Pacify ASMR with the 999 super chat saying y'all are the best. The heart emoji. Thank you very much, Pacify. As always for tuning in. A little bit of off-topic news today, y'all. For those who have been following us for a while or have just hit that subscribe button for the first time today, or the follow button, depending on what platform you're watching on. This is Michigan Storm Chasers' 3-year anniversary. So we were founded 3 years ago today, in July of 2022. So, happy birthday to Michigan Storm Chasers, I guess. But yeah, no, thank you guys for trusting us with all of your severe weather information, flash flooding, winter information as well. When we get to the winter time, we're also covering the winter weather across the state of Michigan. We do weather 24/7, 365 days a year here in the state of Michigan. So again, thank you guys very much for following along. Again, if it wasn't for y'all trusting us and following us, we would not be here today doing what we do best and loving what we do. So best way to support us, as always, for free is to hit that like button and continuing to hit that follow button if you have not done so yet. So thank you guys very much. No matter when you've followed us, if that was day one or this is your day one, it all helps nonetheless. They're all the same. So again, thank you guys very much. And again, this is our 3-year anniversary. It's been a short 3 years, but we've come a long way. So thank you guys very much. Yeah, it's kind of fitting we have severe weather on our 3-year anniversary day. I think we might have had something on it last year as well, but
It wouldn't surprise me. Trying to look at the date, July 28th.
yeah. Also, shout out to our mods as well. Want to do that real quick for those who are modding our YouTube and our Facebook and our Twitch channels. You guys are awesome. Thanks for putting up with everyone. We'll say this as a reminder: if you are a Michigan Storm Chasers diehard, only the diehards do this. They follow us on every single social media we have. So that would be, if you're watching on our 4 different streaming platforms, Facebook is number 1, YouTube is number 2, and we are also live right now on X, which formerly Twitter, and Twitch TV, which is our newer streaming platform. Feel free to give Twitch TV a try. It is there for y'all to watch on as well in case one of these other platforms does go down. So shout out to our MSC diehards out there who follow us on all 4 of those platforms for all of our live streams. You guys are awesome. Again, it's the best way to support what we do here at Michigan Storm Chasers, following us and liking us on all of those platforms. For those just tuning in, flash flooding continues across the Romulus area. So as a reminder, the airport terminals are flooded. Delays are in up to about an hour and a half at the Detroit airport. If you're up in Macomb County right now as well, there's that green box you can see on your screen. That is also a flash flood warning up there. And that flash flood warning also goes until about 7:15 tonight. So, those flash flood warnings are in effect for the next couple hours, give or take. But we will likely hop off fairly soon, I would say right when this shower in Macomb County is done. Just because I believe we might have Ryan still come in here with a live shot. I'm not sure. Let me ask him behind the scenes.
I can do that too if you want me to. Whatever you want.
I got it.
Okay. While Joel does that, I will mention too, I know Joel mentioned it earlier on the live stream, But there is a moderate risk of severe weather out to the west in states like South Dakota, Minnesota, and that is for a chance for a very potent squall line that could be moving through overnight tonight. So if you know anyone that's living out in northwest Iowa, southeast portions of South Dakota, and southern portions of Minnesota, make sure that they're weather aware, because it could be a pretty impactful night in terms of pretty significant winds and once again, all hazard threat there. That line will move to the east towards us, but it will weaken as it does so. We'll be watching it if it maybe decides to be a little stubborn and tries to hold together, but we're not anticipating anything crazy like what they're getting potentially tonight. Maybe some rain showers, and I know Ryan mentioned it in today's video, but maybe even a show of cloud depending on how much it can try to hold together. But just want to let you guys know, if you guys have any friends or family that are in portions of northwest Iowa, northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, or southeastern portions of South Dakota, make sure they are staying weather aware tonight.
As a reminder for those watching on YouTube, that is the auto mod. If you are typing in all caps, the auto mod does mute you for a couple minutes, so make sure you're avoiding all caps. And yeah, it's just one of our rules we have in place here to avoid spam. By the way, that derecho that is likely to move through portions of South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa tonight, even portions of Wisconsin and perhaps northern Illinois, comes with a 45% chance hatched of damaging winds. So it's a 45% chance that a storm produces, the storm that hits you in that area produces damaging winds, or it's 45% chance within 25 miles of a point. The hatched risk indicates a heightened threat for 75-mile-per-hour plus winds there. So again, if you know anyone in southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, South Dakota, portions of Wisconsin, and Illinois near Iowa and Minnesota tonight, let them know. Likely derecho moving through tonight. I think it's already ongoing. And it'll continue through the evening hours, crossing these states, likely to provide minimal impacts to the state of Michigan, but we'll keep an eye on it. Summertime in Michigan, summertime in the Midwest, it's always changing in terms of severe weather, but the current thought process is that even if this line does stay together into the Great Lakes region, it'll dive a little bit south towards Indiana instead of Michigan. So overall minimal impacts expected for this derecho that is moving through the Midwest tonight. Good news there. Bad news is we're still dealing with weather here in the state of Michigan as it stands, with flash flooding ongoing in Wayne and Macomb County across southeast Michigan. We have a spotter network report of flash flooding, curb-to-curb flooding on Meadowbrook Drive with a stuck car visible. And that is in the vicinity of Utica and Shelby in Macomb County. So overall, really rather quiet in here right now because there's no severe weather to be tracking. Hard to kind of portray flash flooding than what we've already been repeating ourselves of don't drive into the flood roadways. Again, a 5 to 15 minute detour can save your life and your car. Avoid driving into flood roadways. You do not know how deep it is. if you can't see the road below the water. So keep that in mind. We're already getting videos in of people driving through the roadways. We have to keep repeating ourselves for those who don't have common sense, which unfortunately is a lot of people nowadays. But if you know anybody that is thinking about traveling through here that might not be aware of the flash flooding risk in general, let them know that is still going to be possible tonight, especially now that we're getting into our evening commute. The flash flood warning for Wayne County is I-94, specifically near I-75, so that is the Romulus area. The airport is included in that flash flood warning. You can see the green box on your screen. You do not want to be in the flooded. I believe I-94 is shut down anyways at Warren Road or whatever it was. So avoid I-94 tonight if you're driving east out of Detroit or driving into Detroit from the west. Up in Mount Clemens, I-94 in Macomb County near Mount Clemens. Down towards St. Clair Shores, also a flash flood warning for about 3 to 4 inches of rain that have fallen here in spots. Wayne County has already seen 5 inches over Romulus as well.
As Joel was mentioning, just don't drive through flooded waters for many reasons. One, it's not safe for yourself, especially if it's flowing water, because water is very powerful. The number one cause of death for floods is vehicle-related deaths. May I remind y'all of that? And even just as another reason too, it wrecks the vehicle too. It wrecks the brakes as well. Get very hot, and then you have cold water dumping onto it, so it wrecks the vehicle, and more importantly, it puts your life at risk, especially if the water is moving. So just be smart out there, guys. If there's a flooded roadway, it's not the end of the world if you can do a quick detour, and if it takes an extra 5 minutes to get where you need to get. Your life is much more important.
The symbol on Lake St. Clair is a radar generated symbol where it believes that there is hail falling, light hail. That is just due to the moisture content in this cell that has produced the flash flooding over Macomb County. Thankfully, now starting to move out of the area. A couple more flooding reports coming in. One from Sterling Heights. Train spotter says numerous roadways completely flooded over in Sterling Heights. Fraser, numerous roadways completely flooded over in Fraser as well. So Macomb County, you want to avoid that. A lot of flood roadways there, curb-to-curb flooding. 2.4 inch report coming in now from the Detroit Metro Airport. Multiple roads closed due to flooding throughout the Detroit Metro Airport. Multiple reports of flooding covering roadways and vehicles stranded in Romulus, downtown Romulus, and near the Detroit Airport. So, lots of flooding ongoing out there tonight. It will be done probably around 7 o'clock as the rain starts to get soaked into the atmosphere. So we just have to deal with it through the evening commute here. If you're driving down 94, both out of Detroit to the north and to the west towards Romulus, up towards Mount Clemens, that is where the flash flooding is ongoing tonight. Been live here now for just over 2 hours covering severe weather and now flash flooding across the area. I'm curious to see how this cell continues across Kentwood. There's a stronger downburst now in Kentwood itself. So we'll keep an eye on that. But as it stands, there's no severe weather in the state. So we're likely going to be hopping off here very shortly. Before we do that, I'd like to shout out all of our sponsors here at MSC, our trusted partners. As always, in every one of our live streams, we always shout them out as a courtesy of saying thank you to supporting our full-time operations here at MSC. We can't do it without them. If we didn't have our sponsors, we would not be live for you guys right now as it stands. So feel free to support these local businesses. They are trusted partners here at MSC for a reason. They are background checked and vetted through insurance and whatnot. So feel free to check them out. We'll go through the list right now, starting with our longest standing sponsor, StormGuard Roofing and Construction, based out of North Metro Detroit. Lifestyle Exteriors, actually Storm Guard Roofing Construction, also up in Macomb County where that flooding is ongoing, so that's a number you might want to take down. Just thought of that. Also have Lifestyle Exteriors based out of Lansing and Traverse City. Got Katz Roofing and Siding based out of Potterville. Also have Pro Powder based out of South Haven. For all of your tree needs across southeast Michigan, turn to Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding. Sorry, that was McKay. McKay is for all of your tree needs across southeast Michigan. Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding is for all of your roofing needs across Sanilac and St. Clair counties. For all of your tree needs across West Michigan, Kuiper Tree Care. Got FBI Buildings for all of your barn dominium needs across the Lower Peninsula. On Top Roofing for all of your roofing needs across Livingston County and surrounding areas. Schneider Commercial Building Solutions for all of your roofing needs in the Lansing area. And Shield Public Adjusters, also based out of Lansing, for all of your insurance adjustment needs. Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors, based out of West Michigan. A-Class Construction and Restoration, based out of Mason County. Rainbow Restoration, based out of Kent County. Rapid Radios, your home for all LTE wireless communication devices, walkie-talkies, you name it. Guardian Technologies, for all of your security camera needs, based out of Burton, Michigan. Also our host for all of our Skynet cams. And Ronald McDonald House of Detroit. Donate to the Ronald McDonald House of Detroit to help families in need find the comfort they deserve in times of sickness. There's also a new sponsor that we are adding this week, American Arbor, based out of Three Rivers in St. Joseph County. The number there is 269-244-8524. And you can also visit American Arbor online at www.americanarbor.net. And that is a certified arborist company that provides professional tree care services to Southwest Michigan. So those are all of our sponsors here, trusted partners at MSC. Thank you guys very much for sponsoring. Appreciate y'all. And again, check out those sponsors. They're also scrolling at the top of the screen up here, as always, throughout the live stream if you want to go back and check out their phone numbers. Otherwise, feel free to rewind the stream, take a screenshot of their phone number if you would like to contact them for your own work needs at your house in some of these areas across the state. So we are about to wrap up this live here, unless something else goes warned. I'm not holding my breath or anything, but that Selling Grand Rapids does have some stronger winds on it. So if you are in southern Kent County right now, watch out for some stronger downbursts. We will keep an eye on that as well. At the current time, there is no severe weather in the state of Michigan, just a couple flash flood warnings ongoing. And throughout the night, if you guys have flash flooding videos, photos to send them in, or just to send them in to us here at Michigan Storm Chasers. As a reminder, there's multiple ways to do that. Messenger. If you go on Facebook right now, type in Michigan Weather Reports. That is another place you can send them in. Make sure you send them in with your time, location, and measurement as needed. Alternatively, if you do not have Facebook, if you have Discord, discord.gg/Michigan Storm Chasers is the link to our Discord server. We have a damage and survey channel there for you guys to send. So again, Messenger, Facebook group, or Discord are our best ways to do so. You can also contact us at contact@michiganstormchasers.com if you don't have any of those methods. We prefer to use that email for business-related things, but again, if that's the only place you have to send in damage photos, feel free to do so there, and we'll appreciate those very much. So multiple ways, but we are about to hop off here in just a second. Drew, is there any other information you've been seeing from behind the scenes that needs to be relayed right now?
Not currently at this time. Once again, just getting occasional reports of flooding from our two flash flood warning areas. We'll continue to be on the lookout once this live stream is done for any additional information from these two flash flood warnings that are in place at this time. And as always, we'll be keeping an eye on the weather going from today into tomorrow as we have more pop-up storm opportunities.
That cell's already starting to rain itself out a little bit. So, yeah, we'll hop off. Again, flash flooding should be done by around 7 o'clock tonight. It's a very short time frame. So good news there. As a reminder, if you are in Macomb County or portions of Wayne County near Romulus, you've already seen around 4 to 5 inches of rain with these storms, which have, fallen in the last about 2.5 to 3 hours. So a lot of rain in a short amount of time. It's going to take a little bit for that rain to drain, but once it does, you guys should be good. So as a reminder, if you're traveling down 94 north out of Detroit and west out of Detroit tonight, specifically near Romulus, near the airport, or up near Mount Clemens, flash flooding is a concern. The highway was closed at 94 in Romulus. I'm not sure if it still is. Just make sure you tune into your local news, I guess you could say, other sources that do have the ways to keep up with traffic. I'll plug this real quick. We do have a Michigan Traffic and Accidents Reports page on Facebook. If you guys would like to join that, feel free to send a request to that as well. Just type in what I just said, Michigan Traffic and Accident Reports. We mainly use it in the wintertime, but it is also helpful for flash flooding in the summertime as well. So feel free to join that if you haven't. How much snow would that equal? Let's not talk about snow yet. If Ryan was here, he would be fine with answering that question. But it would be a lot. It would probably be quite a couple inches of rain, or quite a couple inches of snow, if that was snowfall equivalent.
Give me PTSD, Joel, from all those liquid to snow ratios.
Yeah. A couple of cells becoming stronger now across Iosco County, it looks like. Could see a small hail threat develop soon with that one. Gotta check on the hail. The hail core hasn't even popped up yet on the 3D scan. But I do see a little bit of, on correlation coefficient, we're looking here. We haven't really mentioned this in this stream yet today for hail, but correlation coefficient, as a reminder, we're looking for uniform versus non-uniform objects tumbling around the atmosphere. So what that entails is we have these pinks and these reds here. That is uniform objects, so raindrops and snow droplets. Whereas in the center of the storm where the updraft is at, you see a little bit of those reds turning into oranges, yellows, and greens. That is non-uniform objects, so that would be things such as hail. So something to keep in mind there. Near Hale, Michigan, H-A-L-E, ironically enough, in Iosco County. So a couple instances of perhaps some small hail starting to form there. You can really see it from the Grand Rapids radar, how big those cells are in the upper levels. So we might get a statement out of that one soon. Going up into the Upper Peninsula, just to check on the Upper Peninsula, nothing going on up there at the current time. So the only concerns for short-term wind and hail is going to be Iosco County, Ogemaw County, and perhaps Kent County near the Gerald R. Ford Airport. Otherwise, flash flooding continues through about 7 o'clock tonight for Macomb and Wayne. But we are severe free at the current time, so we're going to go ahead and take a break. We will be back for perhaps maybe some severe weather coverage if more pop-up storms go severe throughout the evening. We'll be here. We are live 24/7, 365 as needed. As a reminder for those who are new here, thank you guys so much for trusting us today, first-time viewers. Thank you guys for tuning in. We do this all the time. Again, this is our 3-year anniversary here at MSC. So thank you guys for following. If it's your day one or if you've been following us since day one, we do appreciate you all very much. And we have not missed a severe warning since the end of 2023, and that was really when we started doing this full time anyways. So we have not missed a single warning in the state, severe or tornado, since the start of 2024. So make sure you're following along. Never miss a beat in terms of severe weather here in the state of Michigan anymore. So with that being said, I am Chief Meteorologist Joel Fritzma, alongside Student Meteorologist Drew Brummel. And from everyone here at MSC, thank you guys so much for watching tonight, to this afternoon. We'll catch you guys next time here for another stream at MSC. Stay safe out there in terms of flash flooding. Remember to turn around and don't drown. Avoid yourself the headache of what's to come later. And we'll catch you next time here at Michigan Storm Chasers. Make sure to follow us as you head out. Hit that like button too. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.